The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome to kind of a cloudy Monday, July 30th, here in Clearwater, Florida, the headquarters of Technical Trading and Investing, TFNN, and TFNN.com. Today we celebrate Cheesecake Day. Two things, cheese, cake, both pretty good. Together, even better. Cheesecake is believed to originated in Greece more than 4,000 years ago. It's also believed to have been served to athletes during competing during the first Olympic Games in 776 BC to give them energy. I just like the Cheesecake Factory. Any kind of place that's set up so well that just pumps out cheesecake as a factory sounds kind of interesting. Although I have never been to one. I don't know why not. Maybe the whole factory thing may have turned me off a little bit. I kind of that homemade feel. My grandmother's sister won national awards for her pie, and my grandmother was no slouch at either at making pies. So she's probably about as 95% as good as her sister, who lived in Newton, Kansas, little town of Newton, Kansas. I spent some summers there with my grandmother and her sister. A very nice lady, very much like Aunt Bee. The whole town actually was just like Aunt Bee. Apparently they only had one projector. It was I remember the first time I went to the movies there, they had an intermission, and I was absolutely blown away that in the mid-'70s they still had intermission. I couldn't remember having intermission and going to movies all the time. Living on an Air Force base, there was like I think it was a quarter or something. You could go see 2 or 3 movies. They had a lot of serials, the old stuff they used to play in the 50s and the 40s. And watched a lot of those Charlie Chan movies. Of course, they were real popular being in Hawaii. But I don't know. Just seems wrong. Anyway, I had an interesting trip here to the office today. We are going to be the home for the Republican National Committee's meeting here. And I guess the possible next president is going to be here. Everybody's going to be here. So what are they doing? Just like little beavers, they're running around shutting off every little pipe and hole that anybody or anything could get through. So first on my list of things on the way here was going over a overpass on a causeway. Of course, we had to stop because there's a giant barge doing something there. They're closing off that. You could probably get a boat that was 20 feet tall underneath it. So anyway, they're busy closing that off, so we had to wait there for 5 or 6 minutes. Then head on over here. Then we had my pet peeve. I was talking to Steve Rhodes about this before, and that is the lady that thinks she's doing good. And like I told him, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So what did she have to do? She had to let one person out of the gas station. But, of course, we were on a green light. And, of course, they have this weird telepathy going on, like, are you going to let me out? Are you not going to let me out? I mean, a simple wave of the hand would have been fine. But, of course, they hit this kind of staring thing, and maybe they're trying to figure out, maybe if her pupils dilate, yeah, I can go out in front of it. Of course, all this takes about another 15 seconds. There's 25 cars behind me. And what happens, of course, the light changes. So trying to do one good thing has cost at least 20 people behind me, another 30, well, I think that was a 3-minute light, behind me. I think there should be a rule, and I think it should be in the driver's book, that you should only let people out in front of you if the light is red. Then you can just pull up a little short, let them pull in. Nobody gets delayed. Anyway, one of my pet peeves, I've had a ton of pet peeves today, and it may be because of this new medication I'm on for this horrible cold that I found out only Friday when I got home and checked my voicemail that it was Legionnaire's disease, and that would start me on a whole nother story. But anyway, Just cheesecake day, not a bad day. Anyway, I'm loaded for bear. I hope the guy in there that's running the board has got his dump button ready, because with this medication, I could say just about anything today. So just watch out. It's going to be nutty. I could probably do 15 minutes on why I hate Mayor Bloomberg today. He stepped in it yet again, but I'll just leave it. I think everybody knows what he is. I want to drink my Cokes, I want my salt, and I don't think he has any business telling anybody else. And maybe it's just me, but I couldn't wake up in the morning and believe that I was so smart that I had to tell everybody else how to live. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, they say in the booth that they like me better that way. It's probably because the first time in about 4 weeks I've gotten any sleep. I took this new medication. I basically slept all weekend. Thought I'd just lay down about 8 o'clock last night, woke up about 5:30 in the morning, slept so deeply that didn't take the dog out in time, and he peed on me. So you have to wash all that stuff off. Anyway, needless to say, I was loaded for bear when I woke up this morning, several times. And that dog just doesn't like waiting. Anyway, had some people email me over the weekend. I'll comment on that. First one was OCZ, which is a SSD company. Of course, everybody was sure that they were being bought out, and of course, they thought that the let me see what it is here. They were sure that OCZ was coming out, and Richard Wyckoff, who's kind of the patron saint of how can I say it? Price and volume trading, I guess that's the best way to describe it, said a tip is a bit of misinformation divulged by someone who heard it from a person who it did not originate. But, this 9 out of 10 times these rumors are false. Even when a company has interest in another company, doesn't mean they want to buy them. That was yet another person that emailed me. A lot of times, let's say if you're Seagate and you're looking at OCZ this morning, and you think, hey, I want to find out just how big a problem they are, where they're spending the money. I want to find a lot more than I get in all the stuff that I would normally get. Basically a lot of these people that are in jail lately are in jail for trying to hire ex-employees of companies like these and get information at them, so a lot less risky to just go on head on and say, hey, we're interested in buying you. Let me see all your books. And, of course, that's a whole kind of, semi-telepathical thing where, do I want to show you my books? Are you really serious? I'd say about 9 out of 10 times you hear these rumors, it is just a way to get in. And, of course, if you've had your stock down to $4.40 lately from a high of $10, you might be thinking that maybe these are the kind of saviors that you want. But a lot of times it's just to find out where you're spending your money, get a lot of information from the company, and then go, didn't really mean it. So, I just hate to do it. OCZ was at a high of $8.75 earlier this morning. It's printing off just a little less than $7. My guess is that this, like all of these buyout rumors, are going to fade fairly quickly. Of course, everybody super believed that Seagate would come out with earnings today. C-A-G-A-T. STX. Of course, in my drug-induced state here from my cold medicine, what are they down? Pretty flat. I guess they're reporting after the bell. I didn't have a lot of chance to check on them. Of course, since I said I was pretty much asleep all weekend. We were talking to Tom Friday night a little bit about a new startup that was bought out called Nicira. Everybody's very interested in this company. One of the reasons that Nicira decided to go ahead and sell themselves out to VMware fairly quickly is Cisco was around trying to steal the key employees of Nicira, and there's a major and vicious recruiting war going on in the Valley, especially if you are cross-trained in both hardware and software. I think it's NCME, is a Cisco-backed startup, and why they wouldn't be inside the company is beyond me, other than the fact that the stock's never going to go anywhere, has been rating Nicira, and VMware, and other companies for talent too. But some of the contracts are worth, signing bonuses are worth as much as $2 million in eventual payoff. So when everybody tells you that that there isn't enough talent in California to help everybody else, I would say two things. One, if you hire a bunch of people from India, they're eventually going home. They'll only work for you for a few years. They'll make a bunch of money. Yes, they will work for 3/4 the price of a U.S. citizen, but eventually they go back and you're stuck with nobody. So what we're seeing is the eventual payoff of these companies that say that they don't have any people, but of course they wouldn't hire any of them. If you're an American, you're probably not going to move to India. And I think this is kind of the confluence of many things, but a lot of it's a very short-sighted look at a lot of these companies, including Cisco, probably one of the main offenders of hiring people to come over here and work on visas for 2, 3, 4 years. As soon as they get smart about anything, of course, they move back to India, and you're left with a whole lot of nothing. But, of course, you get to tell everybody you paid 3/4 of what you would have paid a U.S. citizen to do, and that's pretty much what they're working for, if not 50%. Of course, if you can take that money back, it spends about 10 times as well as India. You'll have 5 servants and everything else. Working over here for 3 or 4 years, you go back and live like a king. But now everybody's crying because there's nobody there. So I think a lot of these companies are pretty much responsible for their own problems. But we are seeing a huge lack of talent out there. Speaking of India, it's been kind of quiet, but 350 to 370 million people in the Punjab province and some of the other provinces of India are in the dark, and probably going to be in the dark for a week. Didn't really catch this much on the news, but these, I think also Mumbai, which is the head technical area of India, also looks like it's going to be problematic for weeks to come also. So India, which wasn't doing already very well, may be losing a bit of its GDP over the next week as we go along. IPOs this week, we've got a bunch of them. We've got a batting average of about 50% of these that are actually making out of the gate and not getting canceled. But Equalia, which provides on-demand software to automate marketing and sales initiatives, plans to raise $84 million. Again, very tiny, ELOQ is a symbol on that if it makes it out. Globus Medical, GMED, GMED, sells spine implants for hospitals to use in surgical procedures. Plans to raise $200 million by offering 12 million shares, almost 12 million shares at a price range of 16 to 18. When we come back, we'll go through some more of these. This one's actually kind of close to my heart. We'll be right back.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her Small Cap Roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to archives of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we get back, we got several good questions in the den I'm going to get to as we go along. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. Globus Medical, we were talking about that spine implants for hospitals. I actually lived on a boat for almost 5 years in Cincinnati. And one of the gentlemen that there were probably 4 or 5 of us bachelors living on boats, houseboats and everything. But one of the interesting guys in there actually was a few slips down from me. Used to go in and get cadavers and cut the spinal bones out, cut them in half, and resell them to doctors to replace spinal bones in other people. Apparently, even though it was dead, you could put back in, and eventually a bone would kind of like crust over it, and actually later on become a bone. Then later, I guess he also did put and shaped corian for putting back in people's heads instead of the old steel plate that everybody talked about in the people's heads. But kind of interesting. But I guess this has probably moved. That's been 20. Yeah, a good 20 years later. It'd be kind of interesting to see how far this technology's gone. Globus Medical, anyway, supposedly coming public this week. What else do we have? LegalZoom. I think everybody's heard these LegalZoom ads. of course, run by Shapiro of the O.J. Simpson fame, getting him off. But kind of interesting. Legal services to consumers, small businesses, $88 million. Of course, fairly tiny. I don't think that they're that big a deal. Stemline Therapeutics, STML, will be the symbol. Biotech developing treatments and target cancer stem cells. Probably have to have a fairly long idea on how this goes. Windows Surface ships October 26th. We knew that Windows 8 was going to be generally available on that date. Now we also know that the Surface product, which was having some problems with in the industry what they call yield, that is making sure that enough of these things come out working. Apparently those that tablet face that it has, the cover, we're having some very tough times making sure that those all work correctly, and only about half of them came out working. So apparently they've gotten that up and now saying that October 6th, although they will probably be a little light on volume, will be shipping that date. Probably not doing so bad. iPhone images have been leaked again for the iPhone 5. They are saying late September, 1st of October now for iPhones. They are trying to keep it as quiet as possible, but look for it last week of September, first week of October. Pretty much everything everybody talked about. The downside is that other than the connector, doesn't look obviously like much has changed on it. For the iPhone 5. So we can assume that the bigger display and a faster processor, maybe some new software is going to be it. It does have a speaker grill down at the bottom where the previous one didn't. Let's see what else we have. Don't have the chart up, actually. I forgot to put it in there. But we are... I guess that's somebody then says it's called bone grafting. Huh. The whole thing was kind of creepy to me. But, of course, he was the guy that putting in corian in people's heads because, of course, with MRIs, people would forget. That's kind of right at the beginning of that MRI. Anyway, people would come in and they were supposed to check everybody with a metal detector before they ever put them in the MRI. And apparently at the big hospital in Cincinnati, more than a couple people got rushed into the MRI, and it was incredibly nasty. What those giant magnets can do when they rip out a plate out of your head. Ugh. Anyway, we are going to have a gentleman on Friday on the second half of the show. We'll be talking about his book, The Flaw of Averages. I'll talk a little bit more about him on Friday. Anyway, there were a couple of good questions, and we're going to get to those as quick as we can. Let me just get Art of the Charts up. A couple of the ones. I had one question. Whatever happened to 3 drives to a top? Every pattern we have is not 100% reliable. It is extremely good, and it worked fairly well. The close below it, it drove fairly down, and of course, that Thursday morning last week, the futures were down and looked like they were going to continue moving down until we had the Draghi come out and tell him that he was going to do everything that he has no power to do. I'll kind of finish this up when I come back. But this kind of goes to the heart of a really good book and a friend of Larry Pesavento's. But I'll retell this story because it's a pretty good story to tell. It's just a good story. I think it's Mark Miller. Think about it in a minute.
Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
I had a good question in the den, and that is, what happened to the 3 drives to a top pattern? I guess it doesn't work. Well, I figure that the gentleman's asking a question, and he's serious about it. But I guess there's 2 things. One, let's say a pattern worked 9 out of 10 times. Maybe this is the one time it doesn't work. I suspect that there's something different. That is, all patterns don't work the same. And the stock market, along like other things, is more like a game of Texas Hold'em than an idea where you always know how everything's going to turn out. One of the best books in trading, and I put it in my newsletter every single day, is a reference to Trading in the Zone. I think it's one of the best psychology books for trading. A lot of people like to say that 90% of trading is psychological. And I think, you can say that this is probably one of the better books for psychology and trading. He relates a great story about halfway through the book about a gentleman that's been in the market for about 40 years and a brand new technical analysis kid that comes in. And they're trading corn or wheat or something like that. And the technical analysis guy comes in and says, it's not going a nickel lower. The price of corn here, it's just going to sit there. There's no way it's going another penny lower. That's it. And the guy that's kind of the head of all trading there picks up his phone, dials a number, and quickly says, sell 200,000 corn or wheat at the market. And, of course, it plummets down 30 cents in a matter of seconds. He looks up at his technical analysis and says, the only thing that is changing here is exactly what I did. And that is anybody at any time can decide to buy or sell. So you can't ever say that it won't go higher or lower. But at the same time, just like a great game of Texas Hold'em, you may start off with 2 aces, and your hand may be the absolute best hand you can get. We've had 3 drives to a top. Everything looked about perfect. We started going down, and what had happened? Draghi came out. Futures were down. Everything looked like the market was going to lower. And we probably had about a 300-point swing in the Dow over that day. Things change. Different cards come out. You have to look at them. There's nothing more than probabilities in any particular market. 3 drives to a top pattern is pretty good. Actually, ended up putting some shorts on. One of my shorts I made 24% on. That I may end up taking some small losses at 3% on some other of these. I'm not going to sweat too bad when I've got a 24% mover on the opposite side of that. So, I think Keynes said it best. When the facts change, does your opinion change? And mine does. So the only thing you need to do is understand that why the market can go up a little while. Eventually there is the path of least resistance, and that no matter what anybody does at the FOMC or over there, Draghi and his Euro guys, it's eventually going to, you just can't, some people have said it, you can't take out water with a bucket out of the deep end and take it down in the shallow end and pour it back in. There's no kind of magic formula for finance that changes what you're spending, what you're bringing in. Eventually, you can monkey with it and try to fool with it. The market is larger than any single one individual. It's bigger than the Fed. It's bigger than the Euro boys. It will eventually go to exactly where it was going in the beginning. So not a lot changes. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648, and we'll talk about your particular stock. Really love that book, though. I probably try to reread it about twice a year, and actually once a week I go through the list of what he has as the important things to remember. Almost like going to spring training every week. Great book. Tried to actually have him on, called him on the phone before Larry actually came on TFNN, and he said, well, I'm sorry, I've got this guy that tells me he's going to be on, and I probably, since I'm eating Thanksgiving dinner with him, I probably ought to go on his show. I guess they all live fairly close to each other. But we will continue on. Anyway, where's my chart so we can get onto that part of it? And there's a few out there. Someone asked about TJ Maxx, TJX, I think it's the symbol. I did not talk about it, although I think we've been showing this in the newsletter the last few days. Kind of looks like it's getting and topping out. TJX is a symbol for TJ Maxx. Seen a lot of these retailers all setting up like this. This is not the only one. We'll go to the Gap next. So they're all kind of setting up, but hitting the previous highs out here with about half the volume. The July 10th high, 8.2 million shares, $44.98. Tried to break through it on July 17th with 3.5 million shares. And one more attempt here today. We had 4.7 on Friday. Very light volume today. But retailers do look weak. A lot of those stocks do. But Gap also on my radar out here. Another one that's gone a little higher. The Gap had a nice big high out here May 1st, $29.29, 8.9 million shares into that high. We've gotten up to it fairly close with 6.7 million shares on the 19th, and kind of tucked back underneath there. The last few days we've had 6.6 million, 6 million shares. Very light, 2.7 million shares. I suspect we're probably going to see a lot of these stocks try to hold up through FOMC, and the promise that Bernanke will rain money on it, on the markets to no end with QE3. I suspect that he will not have enough political cover to do it, and I'm betting to the downside here. What do we have going on here? Pretty quiet. Still fairly quiet. Volume today is very light, 2 million shares. And what do we have? 20 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes to go. So it looks like about a 2.8 million share day as we go into very, very light volume into the FOMC meeting tomorrow. What is it, till 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow? We'll have the announcement. It's a one-day meeting. My guess is that we'll have to wait till the September meeting to get any QE3, and don't suspect we're going to get any more hints, maybe a slight change in the language, but nothing to support this belief that we're going to have QE3. I suspect if you want to look at OCZ, probably a good idea about selling the rumor, it just looks to me like a lot of wishful thinking at the moment, especially about Draghi's comments. I suspect that they will all dry up when Merkel comes back from her vacation and she says, "Niet, niet." Oh, it's Russian. I took German in high school. Now I've got to remember to say nine, nine. Niet, niet, nine, nine. Anyway, I suspect when it comes back, she'll think about that. And I just can't see the Germans, after going through 10 years of austerity themselves to pay for East German reunification, that they're going to sign up for another 10 years to give the Greeks a retirement at 42, and the French to let them work 32 hours a week. I just don't think it's going to happen. What else do we have out here looking in it? China Mobile, kind of interesting with all the rumors that China is starting to growth to slow even more than the 6.7% that they've been talking about. The May 3rd high, $57.29, 1.1 million shares over the last 3 days, 900,000 shares, 700,000 shares, 194,000 shares today. I don't know if that's right, but certainly doesn't look like we have a lot of volume in this. Appreciate it if you would give me a call, 877-927-6648, and we will talk about your particular stock. Hopefully something comes on. Wednesday's the announce. I thought this was Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. 9/9, someone says in the den. I will check that out during our next break to make sure. But I know their calendar, I looked at it last week, and I'm almost positive it said Tuesday and a one-day event, but we will check on it. FOMC calendar. Okay, there's the calendar. Oh, he is correct. July, August, 30-31, so it will be Wednesday. I stand corrected. Thank you very much. I did check it. Thank you very much, Z. But, of course, it may be the cold medicine talking. I could be looking at the side of the wall here. Anyway, another one, the China Mobile, very light volume. Drive Up is kind of light volume also. We're seeing some of these hang out. I suspect if we are going to get something, it will be in that. But, boy, the light volume today, if it is on Wednesday, seems even lighter than now if we're going to have a complete trading move through Wednesday. Remind me to tell Steve Rhodes about that, because I think I just told him it was Tuesday tomorrow. I'll tell him on the way out just so I don't, even though he probably already knew. We've got another one, Aspen Technologies, AZPN, keeping a close eye on, kind of giving a nice little signal out here. You had a huge day, and that was on the 2nd of May. Just blew away up to $23.53, 2.5 million shares. Just a huge day. We tried to get into that with 300,000 shares on July 5th. Pulled back into this trading range. 450,000 shares on Friday, pulling back on lighter volume today. Seeing a lot of these stocks that are really more looking like they're setting up for some kind of resistance. Saw a few of these stocks in the solar industry that look like they could be bottoming. Don't think that they're going to take off anytime soon, but do look like they're finding some level of support. LDK Solar, LDK is the symbol on that one. Of course, these things are all penny stocks now. May 30th set the last big low, $1.54, 3 million shares. We've gotten below that, closed back above it, kind of toying with it again today, but again, volume fairly light. The July 25th low got 6 cents under that previous low on 1.2 million shares, so less than half. We popped back up. Looks pretty light today, 334,000 shares. I'm trying to remember the name of some of these other stocks. It was Canadian Solar. Let me see if I can pull up Canadian Solar. I think it was the other one that I saw last week. C-A-N-A-D-I-A-N. Canadian Solar. CSIQ. I should never forget that one because I made a huge amount of money on that one at one time. This was another one. Actually not doing too bad today. I've been kind of thinking of watching this. We'll have to see how today ends up. It's trying to test that $2.61 low of May 21st at 1.1 million shares, 770,000 now. It may be a little stronger. It also has a huge gap that goes back for a while. Let me see if I can get this and find this gap. That gap will probably be very strong support. This thing may base out for 3 or 6 months, but this is one of the few solar companies I think that may end up hanging on. That volume day that it took off was on 3.4 million shares. And as we get back into that area, about 225, 210, looks like it could end up being a very strong area of support for Canadian Solar and some of those other solar stocks. So we'll keep an eye on those fairly closely. See how much time I got for the break, about a minute and a half. See if there's anything else that really caught my eye. AKS, which is a steel, AK Steel, another one that looks like it's at least getting down to some level of support. We're looking at the lows down here at $4.59, 18 million shares. As we get into that with about 6 million shares on July 26th, we continue to see these lows come in. And, you probably might get one more low in here, but certainly some of these have found some of their lows. What you normally want is some sign of strength within about 3 days that people are either coming in and buying them or accumulating them. These light volume days like we're having today, if that continues into tomorrow and through the FOMC meeting, will be problematic at best. So we'll have to keep an eye on some of these other ones. Another retailer, this is the one I was thinking of, American Eagle Outfitters. As we look today, another one that is coming up to a previous high that had huge volume. May 2nd high out here was $21.13. Symbol is AEO. It is 25 million shares at $21.13. Just putting its toe in the water today, taking a little look at it here. $21.46 for the high. It looks like it will be closing below it on a tenth of the volume. That we see Gap, that we see TJ Maxx, that we see American Eagle Outfitters, all sitting at these highs. Time to probably think that maybe we're in a higher trading range, or maybe we've hit a top. Probably time to look in some of these other ones. Give me a call, 877-927-6648.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Time is the great equalizer of all mankind. Time doesn't care about winners or losers, who succeeds or fails. Time only cares that you played the game. Question: are you playing the money game? Is your money working as hard for you as you are for it? I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter service, and we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary. In year 1, we generated a 30% profit. Plus, I provided 26 hours of live coaching to my clients. My daily newsletter service is available by 8 a.m. each day and covers the stock, futures, currency, and commodity markets, along with all the current patterns that you can trade. Each newsletter is packed with education, and it's yours for as little as $3 per day. And for the next 30 days, you can try it risk-free. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage of TFNN.com and begin your journey to great wealth today. If you're waiting for a better tomorrow, remember this: today's tomorrow will soon be yesterday, and your clock is ticking. Mastering Probability. Now is your time.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And as we come back, another very light day here as we start this week, and that volume just is not coming in. Very light volume, 2.1 billion shares on the consolidated New York Stock Exchange tape. Looks like we're at a decision time, and be interesting how we come in on this in these highs, but kind of light. Flat market. Probably waiting for the FOMC. Probably won't see a lot of movement out here. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. and we'll talk about your particular stock. Still have enough time to get one call in before the end of the show today. One of the things I wanted to also bring up is starting Thursday, I will be here 5 days a week. So we will have a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday show, and then 5 days a week from now on. So anyway, looking forward to being with all these bright, smiling faces and having someone not let somebody else in front of me from the gas station and hold up 30 people behind me every day. Kind of, I guess working at home for the last 14 years, I guess up to the last year, I forgot the joys of being out there in the traffic with all the common folk. But anyway, I guess it's just me. Anyway, we're looking at Nordic American Tankers Limited. Symbol is NAT. Some of these stocks are kind of looking like they're about ready to catch a bid. Nordic Tankers, $11.58, 950,000 shares, October 4th. Tried to get into that, didn't break it, about 8 cents above it on December 28th. A little lighter volume. We have gotten below it and closed back above it, although kind of a pullback here today on lighter volume on these. I would suggest it's probably time to start looking at those tanker stocks yet again. If we are truly getting to some kind of market that is going higher and not just artificially inflated by a bureaucrat from the EU, we probably should see this. Seeing a lot of these tanker companies come back in. The idea that a few things like Apple's iPad and cell phones are going to be enough to keep the economies of the world going without shipping steel, corn, wheat, all the other stuff that these bulk shippers sell, going to be interesting. In fact, I put it on my note because I was thinking about it during the break when I was looking at this. The other thing is I know that there was a small company that IPO'd, and I can't remember their name now, but it was maybe about 3 months ago. But they're actually getting in the shipping of natural gas. It's kind of very complicated and expensive to liquefy it and put it in a ship and send it overseas. But if we're going to see probably bottoms in this dry shipping companies, maybe it's time to check on natural gas shippers too. I know there are not a lot of ships that can do that, and maybe if we do get that pipeline in a year or so, maybe shipping will be a huge part of the natural gas pipeline and maybe a nice profit for us at the same time. Trying to remember some of the other names of some of the other dry shippers. I was going to take a look at them, but I don't know. Probably get to something else here before the end of the show. Wright Express Corporation, WXS, another one here, looking like it's got a nice little flag out here for us, and that is a high on March 26th. We'll zoom in on that for everybody watching Tiger TV. March 26th, $66.23, 5.2 million shares. We're getting into that very light little flag out here on, just vapor volume today. So check that one out, WXS. Again, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com if you have questions, and some of them I'll comment on the show. Hang on here, because we've got another wonderful 3 hours following me, and will every day. And you have a nice and safe evening. See you again on Wednesday.